Today marks 1 year since the fatal police shooting of Philando Castile during what began as a routine traffic stop outside of St. Paul. So Minnesota's governor felt it appropriate to also announce plans on how to stop similar confrontations in the future. He did it with Castile's grieving family. Kenneth Craig reports.
Philando Castile's mother marked the first anniversary of her son's death with a note of hope that Minnesota's push for better police training will make a difference in the future.
This is not about my son anymore. This is about the next generation of children, our future leaders. They need to be protected as well.
You have your life insurance?
It was exactly a year ago that Castile was shot to death during a routine traffic stop. His mother, Valerie, joined Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton, who requested that the $12 million police training bill will be named after her son.
It's one of the very most traumatic events that's occurred in my 6.5 years as governor of Minnesota, and it's had long-lasting traumatic effects.
The officer who killed Castile, Geronimo Yanez, was acquitted of all charges last month. Yanez testified he was afraid and thought Castile was reaching for his gun, which he was carrying legally. Castile's uncle Clarence, who will serve on the training board, pointed out the officer opened fire after just 74 seconds.
The training will just help our police officers and peace officers be better at what they do. Slow down, to the speed of life and just see what's going on.
After his acquittal, Yanez was fired from the police department. Philando Castile would have turned 34 this month.
And tonight, a celebration of Castile's life that was held along with a candlelight vigil. Coming up after weather, why this man is now spending less time in prison than originally sentenced for child porn charges. Plus, a 17-year-old had to be taken to the hospital after a rollover crash near Walhalla. But first, Robert, we've had an active last 2 nights. Weather-wise, will we see a break tonight?
A nice welcome break after a couple of nights of stormy weather earlier this week, including 4th of July last night. But tonight, as we take a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network, lots of sunshine out there. Sun setting here in just a little bit, just a few lonely little clouds out there. Current temperature, we've dipped down to 74 degrees, winds out of the north at 7 miles per hour, much lighter than they were earlier today, but they're going to kick up again as we head through the day tomorrow. Temperature-wise, across the region, down to 70 in Langdon, Roseau, and Baudette, 71 Bemidji, 72 Thief River Falls, Detroit Lakes, and in Wadena. Temperatures later on tonight dipping down to some refreshing levels. Again, winds much lighter right now. They'll stay pretty light overnight tonight, picking up out of the north and northwest tomorrow, 10 to 20 miles per hour, with some occasional stronger gusts. Hardly a cloud in the sky, and with hardly a cloud in the sky, no precipitation to speak of. Last night we were already talking about some storms forming out there, but nothing doing in terms of precip overnight tonight and over the next couple of days. Northern Plains quiet here. Some strong storms making their way into southwestern South Dakota and off towards the east. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect for northern Wisconsin, parts of the upper peninsula of Michigan, and numerous severe thunderstorm warnings in and around that watch area. More showers and thunderstorms across the southeastern U.S. and some dying showers and storms across much of the Rockies. For us, quiet conditions, a welcome sight as we head through the overnight hours tonight. And again, it's going to be a quiet night with temperatures dipping down into the 50s, and this model showing a few showers and thunderstorms making it into the Northern Valley. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a quiet time as we head through the overnight hours with those overnight lows in the 50s. As we head through the day tomorrow, some partly to mostly sunny skies with a few clouds and maybe an isolated sprinkle across northern portions of Minnesota. And by evening, after topping out in the 70s and 80s, dipping down into the 60s and 70s. Here in Fargo, we're going to start off the day in the upper 50s. By lunchtime, we're going to warm it up into the mid 70s, and we're going to top it out in the lower 80s with some breezy north to northwest winds. Picture of the day, one of the many lightning bolts we saw last night here in the Fargo-Moorhead area and nearby. Thanks to Candy for sending that in. We're going to use that as the background to our 7-day forecast, and quiet as we head through the next couple of days. Friday, low 80s, mid 80s for your Saturday. Sunday, a chance for some showers, maybe some thunderstorms, and then the heat returns as we head through next week. A chance for a few showers and storms late Tuesday and early on Wednesday.
Which isn't that bad when you think about it. Just a few months ago, we were dealing with snow and very cold weather.
Yeah, it's changeable weather around here. We've got the heat last few days. Today nice, tomorrow nice. and then the heat returns. So we at least get a break in the action.
Of course. Thank you, Robert.
You got it.
The North Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating after a North Dakota teen was hurt in a rollover crash near Walhalla. Troopers say a 17-year-old boy from Wales was driving west on County Road 55 when he overcorrected and hit the ditch. The SUV he was driving rolled and landed on its roof. Officials say the boy was taken by ambulance to a hospital in Cavalier, and he's expected to be okay. Authorities are not releasing the boy's name because he is a juvenile. The Grand Forks Police Department is investigating a reported sexual assault. Around 3:15 this afternoon, officers responded to the 3800 block of 32nd Avenue South. It was for a report of suspicious activity, and that's where they found a 26-year-old woman who said she was assaulted. At this point in the investigation, officers are still working to determine where the incident took place, and they're still looking for suspects. So if you have any information on this incident, you can call police. A West Fargo man that was facing up to 50 years behind bars is now set to spend 36 months in prison after being sentenced today for child porn charges. Neil Buck Jr. was originally charged with 10 felony counts related to the possession of child porn. He then took a plea deal for lighter sentencing, and 5 of those charges were dismissed. Authorities found pictures and videos on his phone of young girls posing nude and performing sexual acts. He will also be on probation for 10 years. A father is dead after an apparent drowning just west of Thief River Falls. It happened last night, and according to police, 40-year-old Myron Sunrim was swimming in a gravel pit with his girlfriend and 2 children when it happened. Neighbors say it wasn't the first time they had used a gravel pit as a swimming hole. One of the kids was swimming on his back when his girlfriend noticed something was very wrong. Authorities warn swimming in gravel pits might seem like a nice idea, but there are a lot of risks.
I was just saying that it felt like we were in a movie last night. It just, you never think that this kind of thing will happen.
Thankful for the quick response. That's what one West Fargo homeowner told us this morning. Crews rushed to 17th Street West as a firefighter was returning home from a previous call and then saw the flames through the roof. But as West Fargo starts the process to hire more full-time staff, things for the fire department sure seem hot.
This month is shaping up to be like last month. Last month we had 56 calls. That was the busiest month we've ever seen.
Now, we've known for some time that West Fargo plans to hire more full-time staff, but along with that comes some benefit to your bank account. The city's current ISO or fire rating is at a 4 out of 10, 10 being the worst and 1 being the best. Fire Chief Dan Fuller tells us in the next few years his plan is to drop down to a 3, meaning better fire protection. Hiring more staff is one part of that. And with a lower number, your home insurance could drop too. Investigators are still looking into what caused a truck to go up in flames in Glendon earlier this evening. It happened near DGF High School just shortly after 4:30. And the first calls to emergency responders said the truck was fully engulfed. Crews were able to put the fire out pretty quickly and no one was hurt. The driver had been using the car just 10 minutes earlier without any problems. Both Minnesota and North Dakota drivers scored low on the list of most courteous people behind the wheel. A recent survey gave both states an F rating when it comes to letting drivers merge in front of you in heavy traffic. However, they did score high responding to being tailgated and not stealing people's parking spots.
North Dakota is a dangerous place because the other day I was going north and some 16-year-old trying to make a left turn crossed into my lane and hit my Jeep.
The most courteous people behind the wheel are in New Mexico and Idaho. At the bottom of the list, drivers in New York and South Carolina. Some hardworking high schoolers from Fergus Falls marched in the American Independence Day Parade in Philadelphia. The band applied for their chance to march at the parade and spent months preparing for their performance. Just afterwards, they made a stop by the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Washington, D.C. to lay a wreath on behalf of the high school. The band director says that he's extremely proud of his students, both as musicians and as well as people.